And we're back. I just talked about Captain Marvel, and I gave my thoughts on that, so check that video out if you haven't already. And now we're going to talk about another movie starring Captain Marvel. Well, sort of. Really funny that they both came out at the same time. Just a little background real quick. Originally, Shazam, the character, Shazam, was called Captain Marvel when he was owned by Fawcett Comics before DC obtained the rights. Captain Marvel was a character owned by Fawcett Comics, but the name of the wizard who gave him his power was Shazam, but his name is Captain Marvel. And then they had a lawsuit with Marvel, and then they had to change the name. Now he's Shazam, and the wizard Shazam, and there's another Captain Marvel, and you're going to look it up because I don't feel like getting into it. It's going to give me a headache, and I'll be here all day. Anyway, what did I think of the movie? Well, first, a little background. I think the DC Extended Universe got off to a rocky start. It couldn't even come close to Marvel. The MCU was going very strong. The DC Extended Universe tried and failed miserably to keep up. Man of Steel, I didn't care for. It was gritty and overly serious and overly realistic. That doesn't work for Superman to me. Superman should be more lighthearted and colorful, and it shouldn't be dark and dreary. Batman vs. Superman: Dawn of Justice was a convoluted mess. There was way too much going on. It wasn't focused. It was just too much. It was too out there. There's just way too much going on, and not enough time to invest in each storyline, each plot line that was just all jumbled together. Then Suicide Squad was just too MTV. That was my least favorite of the DCEU so far. Margot Robbie was a great Harley Quinn, but that's about it. Other than that, I really didn't care for that movie. I thought that's easily the low point of the DCEU. I didn't care for it. Too MTV, I couldn't get into it. Then Wonder Woman came along, and that was really, really good. That's how you should make a superhero movie. When I leave the theater, I want to wish I had superpowers. I want to feel sorry for them like I did with Man of Steel. Wonder Woman was awesome. Justice League came along, I thought it was awesome. I think it's underrated. I know everybody shits on it for some reason. I don't know, I loved it. I thought everybody was great. The villain was kind of bland and generic. Some of the CGI was bad, but everybody did great. Henry Cavill was a way better Superman this time around than he was in the previous films. Ben Affleck was a great Batman. Gal Gadot was great as Wonder Woman. Everybody was great. Jason Momoa was great. I loved it. I don't care what anybody says. I think it's very underrated. Aquaman came along, and it was amazing. See my thoughts on Aquaman from Info on that. That blew everything else out of the water. Pun intended. So now the DC Universe is going strong, but does Shazam continue that trend? Does it keep it going? Is it still going strong? Fuck yes. I love Shazam. That blew Captain Marvel out of the water. Now, I'm not one of those people who take side. I love the MCU more overall. They have more movies. It's kind of easy to see. They've been more consistent overall. They started out good. They're still going strong. They've had a few bumps along the way, like Captain Marvel. But overall, the MCU is better. But I want them both to succeed. I'm a Marvel fan and a DC fan, and I think Marvel now has some serious competition. But again, I don't want them to compete. I want them both to do good. I want them both to succeed. And Shazam delivered. That's how you make a superhero movie. It started out, Man of Steel and Batman vs. Superman, all dark and dreary and overly serious, and everybody's brooding and morose. No. That's not how you make a superhero movie. It works for Batman, but it doesn't work for Superman, it doesn't work for the Overs. Now, this movie had some dark moments, but it knew how to balance them out with all the comedy. Now, when I saw the trailer, I thought, okay, that looks a little too jokey and a little too serious, too silly. It looks kind of like a parody, and everybody else seemed to agree. That I felt kind of like a hypocrite, because everybody complained about the doom and gloom of the DC movies. They're too dreary, they're too ominous, and then Shazam trailer comes along, looks really lighthearted and really colorful and really funny, and then everybody bitched about that. I was like, well, wait a minute, which is it? You complain when it's doom and gloom, and you complain when it's lighthearted and silly, but I thought I would like it. I was like, it'll be good. I was like, I don't think it'll be as good as Aquaman or Wonder Woman, but it'll be good. I saw it, I loved it. It should not have been that good. I was not expecting it to be that good. That was really, really good. It was really jokey. There was a lot of comedy, but they balanced it out well. It wasn't like every scene led to a joke like in Spider-Man Homecoming. The humor was great, and it was on. It was hilarious, but it knew when to balance it out with this dark and serious moments. Now, when a 14-year-old, Billy Batson, of course, he meets the wizard Shazam, who gives him superpowers, and he becomes, well, one of the running joke in the movie is that they don't know what to call him. They call him Mr. Sparkly Fingers, or Captain Sparkle Fingers, and gosh, I don't know. They come up with like 10 different names for him. It's really hilarious. So he's trying to figure out his name and figure out what his superpowers are. If a 14-year-old got superpowers and saying a word made them into an adult, with magic, with powerful abilities. That's exactly how it would have been. If you're one of those people who thinks that a 14-year-old getting superpowers would be all dark and grooming and brooding and say, I'm 14, now I have superpowers, punch yourself in the face right now, because that is not how it would happen. This is exactly how it happened. He'd be a show-off. He'd be kind of a jerk. He'd be trying to see what his superpowers are. That's just how it would happen. It would happen exactly like this. I actually thought the actor, Zachary Levi did a great job as Shazam, by the way, but I actually thought the actor who played him as Billy Batson, the kid version, was actually a little more mature than Zachary Levi was as the superhero character, which I think is funny, but that was great. Then his best friend, which was the kid, the same actor from Freddy's, the character's name. I'm pretty sure it was the same actor who played Eddie in the new It movie. Pretty sure that was him. If not, they look a hell of a lot alike. I'm pretty sure that was the same. That was Eddie from the new It. He was really good too. The whole family, the Foster family, was good. There's gosh, where do I even go with this? There's so much to talk about. The villain was great. Dr. Sivana, played by Mark Strong. Now, Mark Strong played another great villain. He played an awesome Sinestro in Green Lantern. I know, Green Lantern was not a good movie, but Mark Strong was awesome in it. His Sinestro was great. In this, he plays Dr. Sivana. He's now played two amazing DC villains, two great performances in a DC movie as an antagonist, and he really won me over here. He had awesome powers. He had control over the seven deadly sins, which are these huge, scary demons, which made the movie darker, you know. So it wasn't all comedy. And then those demons, when they run amok in the amusement park in the carnival, like near the end of the movie, kind of reminded me of Ghoulies too. I was getting that vibe from it. I was kind of like, I wouldn't mind seeing a movie with those demons, those dark entities. I wouldn't mind seeing a movie like that. But yeah, anyway, yeah, the character played by Zachary Levi was done great. The kid who played Billy Batson was great. Mark Strong was a great villain. Everybody was great. Everybody gave a great performance. There's plenty of references to Batman and Superman and the rest of the DCU, but not too much where it was distracting, like in Spider-Man Homecoming, where everything was like related to Tony Stark and Iron Man and the Avengers, and like everything revolved around that. It didn't feel like that. It didn't feel like it got in the way of the story that was going on. It was still very focused. It was still all about Shazam. The other, it was just a DCEU backdrop. And it's a world where superheroes exist, basically, but they didn't overdo it with unnecessary superhero cameos and everything revolving around him wanting to join the Justice League, which was good. I liked that. Yeah, the villain was great. Oh gosh, what else can I say? I hope I don't forget anything, because as soon as I stop this video, I'm going to forget something I need to say. I'm not going to give any spoilers. The ending, the climax was a little out there. I didn't see that coming, but I liked it. I thought that was good. When it first happened, you'll know what I mean when you see the movie. I won't give it away. I was like, whoa. I was like, I did not know that was coming. I didn't see it coming, but it was awesome. A lot of people are probably going to have a problem with that, but I didn't. I guess one minor complaint would be the movie is a little too long. It was like maybe 2 hours and 20 minutes. And I feel like there was it could have ended like a little earlier. I felt like there was a few like non-endings. There was a few times I thought it was over, but then it kept going, which was fun because it was highly entertaining and every action-packed second had to be glued to the screen. So I was highly invested in the story. So that wasn't bad. But it kind of did feel like it went on a little too long, and I kind of thought, okay, they seemed like they were going to wrap this up, and then they went somewhere else. They took the story somewhere else, but that's not a problem. I gotta talk like a serious critic at times too. I can't just be like, oh boy, like a fanboy all the time. I gotta be a little more critical and objective about it too. But I didn't really have a problem with that. Yeah, again, the comedy was done very well. It was balanced perfectly with the seriousness. It kind of feels like I got a little bit of a Deadpool vibe here and there. The character Shazam kind of reminded me of Deadpool a little bit, and he was so funny. That's exactly how a kid would be if he became a superhero. I think he'd be pretty much a straight-up comedian. He'd be really goofy and funny and lighthearted. He wouldn't be all dark and serious for sure. At least I hope not. He thought it was so cool they had superpowers, and yeah, there wasn't really any moments. There wasn't like any cliche moments like a misunderstanding or anything like that. It was all it all melded together really well. Yeah, I loved it. The guy who played the wizard, the actual Shazam, did good. That world that they created, the seven realms, and the other world where he gets his powers was done really well. Great design, great visuals. I love how we got to see Dr. Sivana, Thaddeus Sivana. He's a villain in the comics, and he was a little different from his comic counterpart, but done very well. And it made sense. It was appropriate for the story. Then there's another surprise villain at the end, which I will not give away, but definitely stay tuned for a mid-credits scene and a post-credits scene. So don't leave the theater as soon as the credits start, because there's more. There's more treats after that. Another villain makes an appearance. So I won't give away who it is, but it was one of my favorite villains in the comics. The comic villain I always thought was pretty cool. And it wasn't the villain I thought that they would use either as a surprise cameo. So do with that what you will. But anyway, spoiler free. What was I saying? Yeah, the visuals are great. The design of the other world was awesome. They talked about the 7 realms, which was great. That was from the comics. The 7 deadly sins, the creatures, the designs was awesome. It might have been a little too CGI for some people, but it didn't really bother me. I loved how we got to see Dr. Savannah as a kid at the beginning, and then they went somewhere. They took that somewhere. They went somewhere with that. He was jealous that he wasn't worthy, and then this other person, a young kid, a 14-year-old, was worthy. I think that's awesome. I think that was a great idea. That was really good. So I'm glad we had that opening, that prologue, if you will. There's a subplot where Billy Batson's trying to find his long-lost mother, who he was separated from years ago. He's gone from foster family to foster family. He's kind of a delinquent. He's kind of a punk. He's kind of like John Connor, played by Edward Furlong in Terminator 2. You know, he's kind of a brat, which is cool. It adds to, when he comes to superhero, he has to learn responsibility and all that stuff, but he still has kind of the mind of a child, and which is great, which was like a very interesting dynamic. We haven't seen much of that in a movie. Basically, but then he has to learn, like, you know, he's got a new family now, and they're his real family. And again, there's a twist involving the family at the end, which I dare not give away, but I just thought, wow, it blew me away. I was like, I didn't think they were going to go there with that. But it's funny how Captain Marvel was set in the 90s, but this kind of felt like an 80s movie at times. Like, with all the kids together, kind of gave me like a Goonies vibe or something. So I thought that was pretty cool. All the characters are great, all the acting, all the performances was awesome, great villain. I really don't have anything negative to say about it, other than, you know, maybe went on a little too long, and some of the climaxes were a little out there to kind of seem like, oh, they're going to defeat the villain, but then no, they go over another 20 minutes and they still haven't defeated him. But, that didn't take away from the movie at all. I thought it was fine. Without giving too much away, I just say go see it. Maybe someday when it comes on video, I'll give it a full review with spoilers and, you know, with everything. Have it sink in a little more. But I think the DC Extended Universe has definitely found their way, and I think they're going strong, and Marvel's definitely got some serious competition. I want both of them to succeed. I can't wait to see Avengers Endgame. I'm sure it's going to be amazing. This movie was amazing. Both franchises, I'm so glad they both found their way. I'm so glad they're both going strong now, and that's just awesome. That's great to me. Yeah, Captain Marvel, I thought that was pretty underwhelming. See my last video for more info on that. But, you know, I know the MCU can do better, and they have done better. And I gotta say, the DCEU is doing a lot of things I haven't seen done in a superhero movie, like Aquaman. That was the first ever underwater, aquatic themed superhero movie. They milked it for all it was worth, and it was awesome. This was like the first time we saw like what would happen if a young kid turned into an adult superhero. So we haven't seen that before. Captain Marvel was just things we've all seen before. It was like a best of compilation of different moments or different Marvel movies. We'd seen it done before. DC is really coming into their own. They're really coming together. I'm sorry to say, Wonder Woman is still the ultimate female superhero movie. And I really wanted Captain Marvel to be just as good as Wonder Woman, but it wasn't. But I'm very happy to say Shazam was awesome. Definitely go see it. I highly recommend it. That's how you make a superhero movie. Well done, DC. You did great. And again, I'm glad both companies are going strong. And I'm going to see Hellboy when it comes out. So that was Dark Horse Comics, right? So I guess Dark Horse Comics, their movies are going good too. It looks pretty good. So, all right, guys. Well, yeah, long live DC. Hell yeah, Shazam was awesome. Again, I think it's really funny that Captain Marvel and Shazam came out at the same time, since Shazam was also known as Captain Marvel way before the Marvel version existed. You know, Marvel and all that. Which again, for more info on that, check out my last review. But yeah, all right, guys. Well, that's about does it. Go see Shazam. You will not be disappointed. I'm Hellhound. Thank you for watching the Horror Metal channel. Until next time.